So last month, I was able to go down to Buena Vida Orphanage in La Misíon, Mexico, and visit our partners there with Janet Brown. While we were there, we had the opportunity to sit down with the directors, Gabriel and Meche, and talk about struggles and challenges that they were facing. And it was a really intimate and special time because we got to see where their hearts were, and we actually had the opportunity to pray with them, even though Meche doesn't speak English and our Spanish is not that good. But we were able to really bridge that gap and just go to the Lord in prayer for them. And it was such a beautiful experience, something that I won't forget, and really kind of helped us move to that next step in our friendship and our partnership with the work that they're doing down there.
We planned to go down, and we wanted to bring some things for the kids. So we brought Easter egg, plastic eggs for an Easter egg hunt, and lots of candy, of course. And we brought slinkies and bubbles and sidewalk chalk and resurrection eggs and a craft to paint a cross and just lots of stuff. But as I'm a PE teacher and a soccer coach, I had to grab a bunch of balls. So of course I grabbed about 10 soccer balls, some red rubber balls for Foursquare. I grabbed a football, and then as I was in my garage that morning, last minute, before we left, I saw my bag that had my wiffle ball set that I used to teach PE with. So there's a big plastic bat and some bases and one little red wiffle ball in that bag. And I thought, oh, I really wish I had more wiffle balls. The next morning, there's a kitchen that we get to use as visitors. So Katrina went down to the kitchen to get some coffee in the morning. And as we were in there looking around for things to make the coffee, and we looked in the little cupboard that they have, and there was this bag. And I looked and I said, what's that bag? And I looked, and there were about 8 or 9 bright green wiffle balls in a bag in the kitchen. So that afternoon we were playing wiffle ball again, and of course the little red ball that we were using cracked, and Owen said, oh no, I don't think we have any more wiffle balls. And I said, yes we do, yes we do. We have them in the kitchen. So I went to the kitchen, got one of the balls out, didn't really know where the balls came from. Loopy didn't know, no sé. And so we had our wiffle balls. He is Jehovah Jireh. The Lord provides.
We got to take the kids on a field trip to a trampoline park in Ensenada. We were able to do that because of outside donations that were given. It was $350 to take all the kids and volunteers to the trampoline park. It's like the everyday things that they have to endure kind of melt away, and we got to just celebrate with them. I asked Gabriel and Meche how many had ever done this before, and she said only 20% of the kids that came have done this before because of COVID, because of financial reasons. And so for me, that was a huge blessing to be able to not only share that experience with them, but to be able to give that to the volunteers and to the children, because you need some blessing and joy in amongst everything.
I'm a worrywart. I'm scared. I always question. I always go there. What if? But God says, you gotta go. You gotta go. He calls me to this, even though I'm very nervous. But then when something like this happens, it's a sign. He's telling you, he's telling us that when I call you, you will know my will. And this little ball, these 8 or 9 wiffle balls, was totally just showing me that I am and I was that day, that weekend, at the center of God's will.
Looking back on it now, it's exactly how it was supposed to be. And I know that they appreciate our efforts and our vulnerability as well. And so that is one thing that continues, that God continues to remind me each time I go.